So we have a circle, or what used to be called group, then to change to circle, now it's back to a group again, so go figure. In any case, if you want to join, go to dennykmiu.com/circle, or just look for mindfulness fellowship. This is a fellowship, consists of fellow travelers. Okay? So the question that was asked, and it's a very good one, it says that, hey, I just got COVID, and I have symptoms, sore throat, some headache. Should I practice with you this morning? Before I answer the question. And it reminds me of a clip that I saw on PBS long time ago. And it talks about the fourth dimension. Fourth dimension, right? We live in a three-dimensional space. And what's the fourth dimension? How we can't even see it, we can't feel it. How do we know that it exists? So the scientist says, well, imagine you're an ant living on a sheet of paper. You're constraining to a two-dimensional space. And imagine I take a pencil and I poke a hole onto that piece of paper. Then I poke another hole on the piece of paper. Because you're limited to two dimension, there's no possibility of you to understand what's happening. You just saw a hole coming up from nowhere, and then you saw another hole coming from nowhere, and it's unlikely that you would relate the two. That's pretty much who we are, that we think we know everything. We live in a three-dimensional space. We think that existence is only in the three dimensions, and when we see things that we don't understand, we're trying to figure it out. So what's a virus? A virus is not a living organism. We all know that. In fact, if there weren't any virus, we wouldn't even exist. The scientists at least figured out that the virus is actually the beginning of life as we know it. Beginning of plant life, and then another virus attacks the plant and becomes animal life. So our ancestors is actually a virus. That's who we are. But the virus that we're talking about today comes from animals. So it actually started about 30,000 years ago when we started to domesticate animals. And we started to be infected by this virus, which is not a life form, right? So we've been dealing with it because we mix our livelihood with that of the animal. The virus do we call this zoonotic animal, come from the animal, from the zoo. The virus that we're talking about today comes not only from animals, they come from wild animals, not domesticated animals. It started around 65 years ago, pretty much the year that I was born. Everything that we know today, it comes from that, including the COVID. Now, the Chinese know about virus, and there is a very famous book. If I translate it, it's called the Yellow Emperor's Treatise, medical treatise. So people call me yellow as opposed to white or black. And we call ourselves yellow too, but not because of the color of skin. We don't think this is yellow, we think this is pink. We call ourselves yellow because of the Yellow River. The Yellow River is yellow because it carries all that soil from down to the plains, and the beginning of the Chinese civilization comes from the Yellow River. So we call ourselves the descendants of the Yellow River, and this is called the Yellow Emperor's Medical Treatise. Okay. And it talks about this. It doesn't say virus, it talks about energy. It talks about righteous energy versus non-righteous energy, bad energy. And it says that when the bad, and it has a whole chapter describing what happens when you're attacked by virus. And then it says in the end that if you have righteous chi, then the bad chi has nothing to do with you, will not disturb you. So fundamentally, we believe that in order to protect ourselves, from the bad energy is to maintain the good energy. And we maintain the good energy by maintaining the harmony. So everything that we do here, from beginning to end, from toes all the way up to the tail, is to maintain the harmony in the body by maintaining that proper chi. We actually believe that this is the way to combat bad chi, to combat COVID or any other virus attack. That's my belief. Right? So to answer the question, which is a very good one, my answer would be that now it's time to double up. Now it's time to double up, to actually work more on your body like we do now. Just not just once a week, every day. We do this every day. Okay? All right. So with that, I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.